Part 1. The beginning of Hercule Poirot's journey into the digital era does not feel like an ordinary moment, but like a shift in the very fabric of the modern world. It opens with a pitch-black screen where only the faint beating of a heart and the soft tapping of keyboard keys echo through the darkness, as if some unseen force is unlocking a portal to a new kind of mystery. Slowly, a line appears on the screen. What if Hercule Poirot became a social media detective? The screen flickers like distant city lights reflected on midnight water, then gradually reveals a warm, softly lit room. Shelves perfectly arranged with books, an antique clock ticking with old-world precision, a polished magnifying glass gleaming under a golden lamp, and at the center, a laptop glowing with the pulse of the TikTok logo as if it were a digital heartbeat waiting to be examined. Gentle footsteps approach. The silhouette of a man grows clear. A flawlessly tailored suit, a perfectly centered bow tie, shoes shining like mirrors, and the iconic mustache groomed with the same discipline as a military parade. Poirot steps inside the room, pausing for a brief moment as he silently studies the environment the way he studies a new crime scene, then sits with the dignity of a man fully aware of his brilliance. With delicate respect, he closes the laptop as if handling an ancient relic, adjusts his mustache with a practiced gesture, and softly declares, "Ah, mes amis, the world has gone digital, and if the world changes, then Hercule Poirot must adjust, but only ever so slightly." Immediately, the scene bursts into a high-energy montage of the modern world. TikTok dances flashing by, Instagram reels looping endlessly, fingers scrolling through chaos, hashtags exploding like fireworks, mystery, gesture, detective mode, in us For You page, notifications flickering like clues begging to be found, while Poirot's cultured voice overlays the storm. People reveal their secrets openly now, their lives, their emotions, their hidden truths, captured, posted, shared. And then they are shocked. Shocked when someone discovers what was always right in front of them. But Poirot is not the average viewer. No, his mind is a precision instrument, a machine powered by the little gray cells. The montage fades, replaced by a viral clip playing full screen. A teenager running from a room, an object falling to the floor, a flicker of lights, and then sudden darkness. To the average person, just another silly viral moment. But Poirot pauses the video, lifts an eyebrow, and begins viewing it frame by frame. With extraordinary calm, he highlights a nearly invisible shadow in the corner, one that does not match the boy running. Observe, this shadow does not belong to the fleeing youth. No, this is the presence of a third person. And where there is a third presence, there is always a mystery. Poirot looks directly into the camera, as if addressing millions, and says, "From this moment onward, I am here, on your TikTok, your Instagram, your YouTube, wherever you waste time, or occasionally discover something meaningful." Leaning forward, his voice deepens. "My purpose? To uncover the truth hidden in your viral clips, to detect the lies buried in your DMs, to understand the psychology behind your comments and captions. Social media may change, but human nature remains exactly the same." The camera pans to the wall behind him where a massive digital crime board lights up. Screenshots pinned with red virtual strings, blurred messages, suspicious stories, mismatched timestamps, battery percentages, usernames, and at the top in bold glowing letters, Case 001, the TikTok shadow. Poirot folds his hands behind his back like a general surveying a battlefield and quietly says, "You watch videos for entertainment, but every viral moment hides a truth, and Hercule Poirot will always find it." Suddenly, a comedic twist plays out. Poirot picks up a smartphone but accidentally activates a dog filter. His reaction is priceless. A stunned blink, then dignified disgust, then pure existential disappointment. What is this insult? These filters, they will be the downfall of civilization, he mutters as the phone rapidly shifts through babyface, neon glow, cowboy hat, and alien eyes before finally returning to normal. Regaining his composure, Poirot opens his official TikTok profile. At the real Poirot official with a bio reading, solving crimes one TikTok at a time. He taps post, uploading his first video titled Episode 1, The Shadow No One Saw. Then he turns to the camera with a subtle, confident smile and declares, "From today, every shadow matters. Every tiny detail matters. Every like, every share, every comment may be a piece of the truth. On social media, someone is always watching. And now, that someone is Hercule Poirot." The lights dim slowly. The digital crime board flickers ominously. Music rises like a storm approaching, and the screen fades to black as the words appear. Part 2. Viral Crime Clip Analysis. The scene opens with Hercule Poirot sitting at his desk, the glow from multiple laptop screens reflecting in his sharply observant eyes as he leans forward, his fingers steepled beneath his chin, ready to dissect the first viral clip in meticulous detail. The clip plays on loop, fast-moving, shaky footage of a teenager sprinting across a room, an object toppling in the background, and shadows dancing across the walls, all seemingly chaotic to the untrained eye. But Poirot's gaze pierces the surface, noticing the tiniest inconsistencies that would escape any ordinary viewer. "Notice the timing," he murmurs to himself, his French accent coloring each word. The second the object hits the floor, the shadow shifts independently, as if an invisible hand guides it. Très intéressant. He pauses the clip, dragging the frame backward, zooming in with the precision of a surgeon examining a specimen, and begins mapping each micro-movement onto a mental grid of human behavior, probability, and psychology. Every footstep, blink, and hand gesture is analyzed as though it were a clue in a centuries-old murder investigation, and Poirot mutters under his breath, "Even the smallest gestures betray the truth." The camera shifts to a split-screen view of the clip and Poirot's notes, lines, arrows, timestamps, and annotations appearing in real time as his fingers dance across the keyboard, entering observations and connecting dots faster than the human eye can follow. He pauses and turns to the audience, pointing directly at the camera with an almost theatrical flourish. "Observe, mes amis. Ordinary people see chaos. The detective sees the pattern hidden within it. This clip is not random. It is a puzzle, a statement, a confession disguised as entertainment." Poirot picks up a pen and starts drawing circles around the subtle movements of objects in the frame, murmuring, "This object falls too late. That shadow too early. The perpetrator did not account for the light angle. And yet, the world applauds the spectacle without noticing the details." A moment of levity appears as Poirot accidentally bumps into his phone, activating a silly filter that enlarges his eyes, and he sighs, "Mon Dieu, even the little gray cells cannot escape the folly of modern amusement," before hastily correcting it and returning to focus. He then opens the metadata of the clip, examining upload time, geolocation, and engagement stats, cross-referencing them against the suspect's social media habits and online behaviors. "Ah, the timestamp does not match the posted story," he notes, lips curling in satisfaction, "and yet it was uploaded as if nothing were wrong." A clever ruse, but insufficient to fool Poirot. Using his signature method, Poirot creates a mental map linking each participant, their online interactions, and micro-expressions in the clip, slowly unraveling a web of deception while explaining to the viewers how patterns of human behavior repeat, whether in a 1920s Belgian parlor or a 2020s TikTok room. He leans back, adjusts his tie, and with a conspiratorial tone says, "Do not be deceived, mes amis. What appears to be playful is in fact revealing. What appears insignificant is essential. Every click, every reaction, every fleeting glance is a piece of the truth waiting to be collected." The montage intensifies. Arrows, red strings, timestamps, and highlighted frames overlay the clip as Poirot narrates each deduction step, culminating in a moment of triumph when he identifies the subtle tell. The misplaced shadow indicating an unseen third participant, a piece of information that changes the entire narrative of the clip. Poirot turns to the camera once more, eyes gleaming, voice filled with quiet satisfaction. And there it is, the truth, hidden in plain sight, captured in milliseconds of motion. The average viewer sees chaos. The detective sees confession. This is only the beginning, mes amis. Each viral video, each fleeting story, is a mystery waiting to be solved. And Hercule Poirot will always find the pattern where others see only randomness. The scene fades to black with the sound of a keyboard tapping, a notification ping, and the words slowly appearing. Part 3, Instagram Clues and Digital Secrets, coming soon.
Part 3. Instagram Clues and Digit. Al Secret. The scene opens with Hercule Poirot seated at his desk, the soft glow of multiple screens illuminating his sharply focused features as he meticulously scrolls through a suspect's Instagram profile, each post, story, and caption analyzed with the precision of a master detective examining a crime scene. The camera zooms in on the screen where a seemingly innocent selfie catches his eye, the tilt of the head, the background details, the timestamp, and even the subtle shadows in the room, all forming a web of clues invisible to the casual viewer. Ah, the angle of this photograph, mes amis, Poirot murmurs to himself, his accent crisp and deliberate. It is inconsistent with the claimed timeline. Observe the shadow behind the vase, the reflection on the glass. It contradicts the story told in words. He pauses, magnifying the image, circling tiny details with a digital pen while muttering, "The human eye misses what the little gray cells never forget. Every post, every filter, every emoji is a breadcrumb toward the truth." Poirot opens a story highlight and freezes the frame on a fleeting movement in the background, a door slightly ajar, a hand partially visible, an object displaced, and notes how the digital evidence contradicts the narrative suggested by captions and comments. Leaning back slightly, he gestures toward the camera, almost theatrically. You see, ordinary people see only the surface, smiling faces, colorful filters, curated perfection. But the detective sees what is absent, what is altered, what is deliberately hidden. A sudden humorous interruption occurs as a notification pops up with a trending audio challenge, forcing Poirot to momentarily grimace at the absurdity of modern entertainment. Ah, the folly of youth, dancing to oblivion, yet unknowingly revealing their secrets. Returning to focus, he cross-references geotags with upload times, noting discrepancies between location data and the claimed whereabouts of the subjects, highlighting how even the smallest oversight can betray a lie. Poirot methodically arranges screenshots on his virtual crime board, drawing connections between stories, reactions, and previously overlooked details from the viral clip, whispering, "See how each action, each response is linked. A map of human behavior, perfectly predictable if one observes carefully. A seemingly trivial image may hide the key to the entire case." He leans closer, eyes narrowing as he identifies the subtle pattern. A hand visible in one story, a shadow in another, an object slightly moved between frames, creating a chain of evidence invisible to anyone else. He clicks through stories, magnifying frames, overlaying arrows and timestamps in rapid succession, voiceover guiding the viewer through his reasoning. Even the most innocuous content carries meaning. Each detail is a letter, each post a sentence, composing the story of truth concealed within performance. Poirot pauses dramatically, then turns to the camera, tapping his temple with a single finger. Mes amis, social media is not merely distraction, it is confession in miniature, an endless repository of human nature laid bare. And where others see chaos, the detective sees order. Every like, every comment, every ephemeral story is a puzzle piece waiting for assembly. The montage accelerates, highlighting connections across posts, emojis, captions, stories, and timestamps, building suspense as the hidden patterns emerge. Poirot leans back, satisfied, a subtle smile on his face, and finally declares, "And there we have it. The truth revealed not in words, but in pixels. The timeline corrected, the hidden hand exposed, the narrative reconstructed. This is only one of many digital secrets, each more revealing than the last, and Hercule Poirot will follow them all until every deception is brought into the light. The scene fades to black, a soft notification ping echoing like a heartbeat, and text appears slowly on the screen. Part 4. Direct Messages and Suspicious Interactions, coming soon. Part 4. Direct Messages and Suspicious Interactions. The scene opens with Hercule Poirot, seated at his elegantly arranged desk, the warm glow of multiple laptop screens reflecting in his sharp, calculating eyes. As he leans slightly forward, fingers steepled beneath his chin, ready to examine the labyrinth of direct messages scattered across social media platforms, each ping, notification, and tiny emoji potentially hiding a clue that would reveal motives, timelines, or deceit invisible to the untrained observer. The camera slowly zooms in on a laptop screen where a string of DMs scrolls endlessly, seemingly innocuous conversations about trivial events, memes, or casual greetings. Yet Poirot's gaze is drawn to the subtle inconsistencies, the micro-pauses indicated by typing indicators, the slight delay between messages, and the perfectly placed reactions that suggest a deliberate attempt to conceal truth. Ah, observe, mes amis, he murmurs in his precise French accent. The timing of the replies is irregular, not accidental. It betrays hesitation, concealment, perhaps even guilt. He pauses the scrolling, zooms in on a particular emoji, a seemingly playful wink, and tilts his head thoughtfully, tracing its use across multiple conversations and noting its recurrence in discussions about a certain object, a location, or a previous event referenced only vaguely, whispering under his breath, "The human mind cannot resist pattern. Even when it attempts deception, the smallest traces remain." He begins to cross-reference these messages with timestamps of posts, story uploads, and previously observed viral clips, creating a mental web linking online interactions, behavior patterns, and emotional cues. The screen splits into multiple windows, showing conversations, reactions, and overlapping threads, and Poirot methodically highlights words, phrases, or minor inconsistencies with a virtual pen, murmuring, "The suspect believes they control perception, yet perception itself is a series of unavoidable truths." A sudden humorous moment interrupts his concentration as a notification pops up announcing a trending dance challenge. Poirot frowns, muttering, "Even amidst frivolity, humans reveal themselves. Through laughter, through hastily typed replies, through carelessness disguised as play." Returning to focus, he identifies a subtle pattern. One person consistently reacts seconds before a message is read, another subtly changes sentence structure when responding to a certain topic, and yet another deploys indirect emojis to deflect attention. Poirot leans closer, tracing lines and connecting dots, and explains to the audience with quiet intensity, "Observe, the detective does not merely read the words, he observes intent, timing, and omission. Silence can be louder than speech, hesitation heavier than confession." He opens another DM thread, the colors and icons highlighting active and inactive participants, and pauses on a message sent from an anonymous account. Vague, cryptic, seemingly meaningless. Yet the phrasing and timestamp align perfectly with an earlier anomaly in a viral clip, causing Poirot to lift a finger dramatically and whisper, "Ah, mes amis." Notice the alignment. The unseen hand communicates indirectly, yet cannot escape exposure when observed carefully. He begins to map the interactions onto his digital crime board, arrows flying across posts, threads, and emojis, linking every reaction, reply, and timing anomaly, slowly revealing a hidden network of connections, suggesting collusion, misdirection, or concealment of vital evidence. Poirot's voice continues in a calm, deliberate tone. Each conversation is a microcosm of human behavior. Even the smallest, most fleeting interactions reveal truth if one possesses the patience to see them. A suspenseful montage follows, messages highlighted, timestamps circled, emojis marked, overlapping windows showing cross-referenced interactions, and Poirot leaning back in satisfaction, hands folded, eyes glinting with triumph, finally declaring, "And so, mes amis, the invisible threads become visible." What was hidden behind casual conversation, seemingly trivial banter, or playful emojis is now mapped in full. The direct messages, the subtle reactions, the timing of each reply, together they form a tapestry of truth no ordinary observer would perceive, yet all of it visible to the Hercule Poirot. He turns to the camera with a subtle but confident smile, voice lowering as though sharing a secret. Remember this: social media may appear chaotic, random, or frivolous, yet every action, every word, every pause, every emoji is part of a puzzle that the detective will always solve, revealing human nature, deception, and ultimately the truth hidden within digital interactions. The lights on the screens dim slowly, the subtle glow of notifications still flickering, music rising in a dramatic crescendo, and the screen fades to black.
With text appearing gradually, Part 5, Viral Trends and Detective Logic, coming soon.
Part 5: Viral Trends and Detective Logic. The scene opens with Hercule Poirot seated in his elegantly arranged detective corner, multiple laptop and tablet screens glowing softly, reflecting in his intensely observant eyes as he leans forward to analyze a collection of trending viral videos that have swept across TikTok, Instagram, and other platforms, each clip appearing chaotic, absurd, and playful to the casual viewer. Yet to Poirot, each moment contains a pattern, a subtle clue, a fragment of human behavior that can reveal motive, deception, or hidden truths. He begins with a viral dance challenge, the participants moving in perfect synchronization, yet with slight deviations in timing, posture, and expression that most would never notice, and he murmurs, "Ah, observe, mes amis. Even movement has a language, and deviation from it betrays intent." He pauses the clip, zooms in meticulously, frame by frame, highlighting a single hand gesture, a flicker of a gaze, a shadow in the corner, and begins overlaying a mental map connecting each participant's actions to prior online posts, DMs, and stories he had previously analyzed, whispering to himself, "Every trend, no matter how frivolous, is governed by human nature, and human nature never lies." Poirot opens another clip, this time a viral prank video, seemingly silly and random. Yet he notices the placement of objects, the reaction of the participants, and the subtle hesitation in the person responsible for executing the prank. And he points at the screen dramatically. The guilty cannot conceal themselves for long. Even in jest, their intentions are visible. He cross-references the timestamps of uploads, comments, and shared clips, highlighting anomalies where participants reacted unusually quickly or unusually slowly, and he begins drawing connections on his digital crime board, red lines linking videos, comments, reactions, and metadata like arrows pointing to hidden truths, all while explaining to the audience, a detective's task is not to watch for entertainment, but to observe the invisible patterns within the chaos. Every post, every trend, every challenge is a puzzle. The ordinary person sees only play, but the detective sees strategy, psychology, and sometimes confession. Poirot's hands move with precise elegance across the keyboard, magnifying frames, annotating movements, connecting emojis to prior interactions, while occasionally pausing to shake his head at the frivolity of some viral humor, muttering, "Ah, youth, distraction, amusement." Yet even amusement is revealing. The slightest hesitation, the micro-expression, the timing of a smile, all betray more than words ever could. He leans back briefly, then forward again as a sudden insight strikes him, noticing that a trending challenge shared across multiple accounts is consistently misaligned with natural patterns of interaction, revealing coordination, manipulation, and perhaps deception. With a sharp exhalation, he declares, "Yes, here it is, hidden in plain sight, the pattern, the anomaly, the human signature behind the trend. The careless moments, repeated and replicated, have given away the truth." Poirot turns toward the camera, a faint satisfied smile playing on his lips, voice lowered as if imparting a secret. "Remember, mes amis, trends may seem trivial, fleeting, and chaotic, but they obey the laws of human nature. And where others see amusement, the detective sees opportunity, opportunity to discern, to deduce, to reveal what is otherwise invisible. Each viral clip, every shared dance, every trending audio contains fragments of truth, subtle, almost imperceptible. Yet when observed with the little gray cells, the truth emerges in its entirety. The montage accelerates, frames highlighted, emojis circled, lines drawn across posts, reactions connected with meticulous logic, shadows, pauses, and micro-movements identified and catalogued. Poirot finally leans back, hands folded, eyes gleaming with triumph and satisfaction, and quietly concludes, "Thus, even in the age of distraction, of fleeting fame and viral absurdities, the detective's mind remains sharp. The truth is always there, hidden within the chaos, waiting for the patient eye to find it. And Hercule Poirot will always find it." The lights of the screens dim slowly, the soft glow of notifications flickering like distant stars, music rising to a dramatic crescendo, and the screen fades to black as the text gradually appears. Part 6, Digital Footprints and Timelines, coming soon. Part 6, Digital Footprints and Timelines. The scene opens with Hercule Poirot seated at his desk, the ambient glow of multiple laptop screens casting intricate shadows across his perfectly groomed mustache and sharply defined features. As he leans forward with a look of intense concentration, ready to dissect the complex web of digital footprints left by his subjects across social media platforms. Each click, each tap, each timestamp becomes a clue, a breadcrumb in the intricate puzzle of human behavior, and Poirot's eyes move rapidly, scanning timelines, comparing upload times, analyzing metadata, and connecting the smallest inconsistencies that would escape any ordinary observer, while he murmurs softly in his cultured French accent, "Ah, observe, mes amis. The footprints we leave are never as invisible as we believe. Even the briefest online presence betrays the truth, if one knows how to see it." The camera zooms in on his laptop screen, where a social media profile is open, displaying a series of posts, stories, and short videos, all seemingly random and inconsequential to the average user. But Poirot notices subtle anomalies. A post time-stamped slightly after the event it describes, a story replayed hours later with slight differences, an emoji reaction that does not match the tone of the accompanying message. He leans closer, tapping his finger against the screen. Timing is everything. An imperceptible delay, an early response. These are the markers of intent, hesitation, even deceit. No one can escape the rhythm of truth. He opens multiple tabs, cross-referencing geolocation data, previous viral clips, DM interactions, and comment threads, each element meticulously examined and mentally mapped onto his growing digital crime board. Arrows, lines, timestamps, and highlights appear on screen as Poirot explains, "See how the threads converge. One action leads to another, one story connects to a prior upload, one minor gesture correlates with a comment, all forming an intricate network, a map of human behavior waiting to be decoded." He pauses to magnify a frame in a viral clip, noticing a hand slightly out of place, and a shadow misaligned with natural light, and his eyes light up with satisfaction as he whispers, "Ah, the unseen participant, revealed not by words but by movement and timing. It is almost poetic how truth reveals itself even amidst chaos." Poirot leans back, his fingers steepled again, voice lowering in emphasis as he addresses the audience directly. "Observe, mes amis. The ordinary mind sees only the content. A post, a video, a story. But the detective sees the footprints, the inconsistencies, the patterns that remain when the superficial details are stripped away. Time is a silent witness, and the digital world, an unintentional confessor." A small, humorous interruption occurs as a trending filter automatically activates on one of the videos he reviews, briefly turning his face into a cartoonish caricature. Poirot lets out a faint sigh, adjusting the filter back to normal, muttering, "Ah, even modern amusements cannot escape scrutiny, yet they reveal as much as they conceal." He then overlays the timelines of multiple participants, comparing upload sequences, story durations, and response times, noting where deviations occur, how micro-delays and hastily edited clips betray attempts at deception, and how repeated patterns in posting behavior reveal hidden truths. With a dramatic gesture, he connects a subtle movement in one viral clip to an earlier DM conversation, whispering, "Observe, mes amis, every footprint, no matter how small, leaves a trail, and the cleverest deception cannot erase what has already been done." Poirot's eyes narrow as he identifies the pivotal anomaly, a misaligned timestamp that, when traced across multiple platforms, reveals the presence of a third party previously unseen, exposing the hidden orchestration behind seemingly innocent viral content. He leans back, hands folded, eyes glimmering with triumph, and explains to the audience, "The digital footprints are immutable. They tell the story even when the narrative is carefully constructed. One must only know how to observe, how to connect, how to interpret the sequence of actions, and the truth is laid bare." The montage intensifies, overlapping screens with highlighted posts, moving arrows, timelines, and detailed annotations zoom across the screen, showing how each element is linked, while Poirot continues his narration. Every click, every upload, every comment is part of a larger timeline. One action influences another, one hesitation betrays intent, one sequence illuminates motive. This is the language of the digital world, and only the methodical mind can read it. Finally, Poirot leans
toward the camera, a subtle smile forming, his voice lowering to a conspiratorial whisper, and thus, mes Amos, the invisible becomes visible. The traces left behind, the footprints in the virtual sand, reveal everything that the participants hope to conceal. The timeline corrected, the hidden hand exposed, the unseen pattern revealed, all thanks to the little gray cells. Even amidst the distractions of social media, even amidst chaos, the truth remains discoverable, and Hercule Poirot will always find it. The screens slowly dim, leaving only the faint flicker of notifications as a soft crescendo of suspenseful music rises, and the scene fades to black with text gradually appearing. Part 7, Live Stream Investigation, coming soon.
Part 7. Live Stream Investigation. The scene opens with Hercule Poirot seated in a dimly lit room, multiple monitors illuminating his perfectly groomed mustache and sharp features, as he prepares for a live stream investigation that will allow him to observe social media interactions in real time, his eyes flicking rapidly across chat windows, comment feeds, live reactions, and emojis as each movement and message becomes a clue in the unfolding mystery. The camera slowly pans across his setup, revealing a sophisticated digital crime board projected on one screen, filled with previously analyzed viral clips, Instagram stories, DMs, timestamps, and red lines connecting posts, emojis, and responses, illustrating the meticulous network Poirot has constructed to reveal patterns of human behavior, deception, and intent. As the live stream begins, Poirot adjusts his headset, his calm and measured voice addressing the unseen audience. Mes amis, today the truth will reveal itself not through pre-recorded content, but in the fleeting, spontaneous interactions of those who believe themselves unseen. He watches as viewers flood the comments section with questions, reactions, and clues, some intentionally misleading, others inadvertently revealing, and he smiles faintly, fingers steepled beneath his chin, analyzing each participant with the precision of a master detective. Observe. The ordinary eye sees chatter, entertainment, distraction, but the detective sees patterns, inconsistencies, and the micro-behaviors that betray what is concealed. A live viewer posts a cryptic clue in the chat, a short phrase seemingly meaningless, and Poirot's eyes narrow as he cross-references it with previous DMs and viral clips, muttering, "Ah, the subtle repetition of words, timing of entries, and choice of phrasing. They are the footprints of intent." He leans forward, annotating the digital crime board in real time, connecting arrows between comment threads, timestamps, reactions, and video frames, explaining the connections to the audience. Every response, every emoji, every fleeting thought typed in haste reveals more than the participant realizes. The digital world is a confessional, though most do not know they are confessing. A sudden comedic moment occurs as a trending sticker filter activates accidentally on one of the live comments, briefly distorting Poirot's expression, causing a slight twitch of exasperation. Yet he quickly regains composure, murmuring, "Even amidst folly, the truth emerges. One must simply observe carefully." He pauses the live feed at a precise moment where a shadow moves across the frame of a participant's video, subtly misaligned with the lighting, and overlays a timeline connecting the shadow to a previously unnoticed movement in a viral clip in a cryptic DM sent days earlier. Poirot's eyes gleam as he whispers, "Ah, the unseen participant, revealed not by force or confession, but by consistency and error across multiple platforms. The network is complete, the pattern clear." He engages the audience, pointing to the connections, explaining how even seemingly random interactions form a chain that exposes intent, deception, and hidden truths. Observe, mes amis. The live interaction is the ultimate test. Here, mistakes are made in real time, patterns repeat, hesitation betrays, and the subtle alignment of actions with prior behavior reveals everything the participants hope to conceal. Poirot leans back briefly, then forward again, following the rapid movement of comments, emojis, reactions, and live responses, mapping every interaction, every pause, every micro-expression across multiple screens, connecting each to prior clues in a web of investigative brilliance. While narrating, every fleeting message, every ephemeral reaction is a thread. And when these threads are woven together, the fabric of truth becomes visible. The ordinary eye sees only entertainment, but the detective sees orchestration, strategy, and the inevitable reveal of human nature. As the live stream reaches a climax, Poirot identifies the final anomaly, a subtle gesture in one participant's video, perfectly matching a prior action from a DM conversation and a timestamp from an earlier viral clip. His finger points dramatically at the screen, voice calm but firm. And here it is, the hidden hand exposed, the truth concealed by layers of distraction and performance, now illuminated by observation and logic. He turns to the camera, a faint smile playing on his lips, voice lowering to a conspiratorial tone. "Remember, mes amis, live interactions leave no room for pretense. The slightest deviation, hesitation, or repeated behavior betrays reality. And while the world watches for amusement, the detective observes for truth. Each pattern, each micro-action, each fleeting reaction is a puzzle piece, and Hercule Poirot will always assemble the complete picture." The camera slowly pans away as the lights from the screens dim.
Notifications flicker softly like distant stars, suspenseful music rises to a dramatic crescendo, and the screen fades to black with the text gradually appearing. Part 8, Passwords and Predictable Patterns, coming soon.
Part 8. Passwords and Predictable Patterns. The scene opens with Hercule Poirot seated at his meticulously organized desk, the warm glow of multiple monitors reflecting across his perfectly groomed mustache and sharply defined features, as he leans forward with an expression of quiet intensity, ready to unravel the hidden patterns embedded within passwords, account behaviors, and subtle recurring themes across his subject's social media activities. The camera pans slowly across his setup, revealing a complex digital crime board projecting prior viral clips, Instagram stories, DMs, timestamps, comment threads, and live interactions, all connected by a labyrinth of red lines, arrows, and annotations, illustrating the painstaking analysis Poirot has conducted over the past episodes. He opens a series of accounts suspected to be linked, noting each password hint, the repeated sequences of characters, the predictable structure based on birthdays, pet names or commonly used phrases, and murmurs with a faint smile. Ah, humans are remarkably consistent even when they attempt deception. Predictability is the silent signature of every mind. Poirot begins typing sequences, attempting subtle variations, observing how small changes in input elicit hints or failed login responses, and in real time cross-references these patterns with behavioral clues from previous viral clips, DMs, and live interactions. He explains to the audience, voice measured and deliberate, "Observe, mes amis, passwords are not merely protection, they are extensions of human nature. Patterns emerge unconsciously: repetition, familiarity, and predictability. The cleverest deceiver cannot resist the call of consistency." He pauses to examine a particular account where login times, post frequencies, and comment patterns align perfectly with prior anomalies he has documented, muttering under his breath, "Ah, the rhythm is undeniable. Even the deliberate attempt to mask behavior reveals the underlying structure." Poirot overlays his observations onto the digital crime board, drawing lines between password hints, login times, post histories, and subtle recurring emojis, creating a visual network that begins to illuminate the orchestrated behavior of the subject. His eyes gleam as he whispers, "Each repetition, each pattern, is a thread leading to the heart of truth." The ordinary observer sees chaos, but the detective sees the invisible order. A small humorous interruption occurs as a trending sticker filter on one of the accounts briefly distorts Poirot's reflection on the screen. He lets out a faint sigh, straightens his tie, and mutters, "Ah, even modern distractions betray the unwary. Yet they, too, leave clues." He then meticulously aligns password patterns with posting behavior, story highlights, and recurring emojis, noticing a subtle correlation between character sequences and the timing of posts in previously analyzed viral clips. Leaning closer, he whispers, "Ah, mes amis. One character replaced, one post delayed, one emoji repeated, each a tiny signal, imperceptible to the casual observer, yet undeniable to the analytical mind." Poirot's hands move swiftly across the keyboard, annotating, connecting, and highlighting, while his voiceover explains, "Observe how predictability governs even attempts at concealment. Human nature is constant, and patterns, when followed carefully, reveal not just identity but intent, motive, and method." As he finally uncovers the recurring password structure, aligning it with previously unseen digital footprints and timelines, Poirot leans back, eyes gleaming with triumph, and declares, "And there it is, the hidden code, the predictable pattern, the digital signature of human behavior. What was thought to be secure and random is in fact systematic, revealing truths the owner never intended to expose. Predictability is the enemy of secrecy and the ally of the detective." He turns toward the camera, voice lowering conspiratorially, "Mes amis, social media, digital accounts, passwords, patterns, all are extensions of human nature. Observe carefully, connect the threads, follow the patterns, and the truth becomes inescapable. The ordinary world sees only randomness. The detective sees inevitability. And Hercule Poirot will always discover it." The montage accelerates. Highlighted passwords, timelines, emoji patterns, post histories, and annotated sequences overlay across the screen in rapid succession, visualizing the intricate connections Poirot has traced. The lights dim slowly, notifications flicker faintly, suspenseful music rises to a dramatic crescendo, and the scene fades to black, with text appearing gradually. Part 9. Geolocation and Digital Alibis, coming soon. Coming.
Part 9. Geolocation and Digital Alibis. The scene opens with Hercule Poirot seated at his desk, the soft glow of multiple monitors illuminating his perfectly groomed mustache, eyes narrowing with intense focus as he begins the intricate task of tracing geolocations and verifying digital alibis across multiple social media accounts. His fingers moving deftly over the keyboard as he cross-references timestamps, GPS data, story uploads, check-ins, and live interactions. The camera pans slowly across his elaborate setup, revealing a vast digital crime board projected on one screen, filled with prior viral clips, Instagram stories, DMs, passwords, timestamps, and annotations, all interconnected with red lines, arrows, and highlights, illustrating the meticulous web Poirot has constructed to uncover inconsistencies and reveal hidden truths. As he examines a recent story upload, he notices subtle discrepancies between the claimed location in the caption and the actual geotag embedded in the media file, muttering in his precise French accent, Amos, the digital world is a confessional. One cannot lie about presence when every action leaves a trace. He opens another account, cross-referencing login locations, IP addresses, and previous posts, observing how even a slight deviation in time zones or upload sequences reveals attempts to fabricate alibis or conceal movements. Leaning forward, he points to the screen and whispers, "Observe the rhythm." One account posts from the city, another story from an adjacent town, yet the timestamps suggest they are simultaneous. Impossible. The deception is subtle, but it exists. Poirot overlays this data onto his virtual crime board, connecting geolocations to prior viral clips, DMs, live interactions, and even password patterns, forming a network that illustrates the movements, intentions, and hidden actions of the subjects under investigation. His voice, calm but deliberate, explains to the audience, each geotag, each check-in, each shared location tells a story. The ordinary eye sees photos, likes, and stories. The detective sees alibis, inconsistencies, and the footprints of intent. He zooms into a video frame where a shadow partially obstructs a location sign, comparing it with an uploaded story from the same account hours later, and with a subtle smile murmurs, the shadow confirms what the geotag cannot lie about. Presence, absence, movement, all revealed to those who observe closely. A humorous interruption briefly occurs as a trending sticker filter accidentally overlays a participant's face, distorting it comically. Poirot raises an eyebrow, muttering, "Even the frivolity of social media cannot conceal truth, sometimes it enhances it." Returning to focus, he begins correlating multiple participants' geolocations, mapping them against previously detected patterns, viral trends, DM timing, and password predictability, noticing how simultaneous posts and story uploads expose hidden interactions, premeditated collaborations, and attempts to fabricate innocence. He leans back, hands steepled, voice lowering as he addresses the audience, "Observe, Amos, no digital footprint exists in isolation. Every location check-in, every upload, every post is part of a chain that reveals reality, despite attempts at deception. The alibi, digital or otherwise, can be verified, contradicted, and exposed by careful observation." As the investigation reaches its climax, Poirot identifies the final inconsistency, a participant claiming to be in one city while live story analytics reveal device coordinates in a completely different location, perfectly matching a prior viral clip and contradicting previous statements. He points dramatically at the screen, voice calm yet firm, and there it is, the lie exposed. The fabricated alibi laid bare. The truth, hidden beneath layers of performance and misdirection, now illuminated by observation. Logic, and the little gray cells. Human behavior, even in the digital realm, remains predictable, inevitable, and thus discoverable. The montage accelerates, geolocations highlighted, story timestamps aligned, cross-references drawn, red strings linking movements and prior clues, all displayed in meticulous visual detail as Poirot continues, every movement leaves a footprint, every story a trace, every interaction a hint. Where others see coincidence, the detective sees cause and effect. Where others see deception, the detective sees human nature revealed. And Hercule Poirot will always uncover it. The lights dim slowly, notifications flicker softly like distant stars, suspenseful music rises to a dramatic crescendo, and the screen fades to black with text appearing gradually. Part 10, The Final Reveal, coming soon. Part 10, The Final Reveal. The scene opens with Hercule Poirot seated at the center of his command desk, the soft glow of multiple monitors illuminating his perfectly groomed mustache and intense, piercing eyes, as he prepares for the culmination of weeks of meticulous investigation through viral clips, Instagram stories, DMs, live interactions, geolocations, passwords, and social media patterns. The camera slowly pans across the expansive digital crime board behind him, a masterpiece of red lines, arrows, timestamps, highlighted posts, screenshots, and annotations, each element representing a puzzle piece painstakingly gathered and analyzed, converging now toward the final truth. Poirot leans forward, fingers steepled beneath his chin, his eyes scanning a final compilation of anomalies, patterns, and microbehaviors that, when pieced together, reveal the hidden orchestration behind a web of digital deception. His voice, calm yet charged with anticipation, addresses the unseen audience. Mess Amos, today, the fragments of chaos will be assembled, the hidden truths will emerge, and the mystery concealed within the social media labyrinth will be revealed. Every post, every comment, every fleeting moment captured digitally has been a thread, and now, all threads converge. He opens the final montage, layering viral videos, DMs, geolocation data, story uploads, comment threads, and emoji patterns, each highlighted and connected with precision, while narrating the deduction in real time. Observe the alignment, the micro-timings, the subtle gestures, the patterns of omission and repetition. Every human behavior has left a trace, and the detective's task is to read them. The ordinary eye sees only entertainment, distraction, and randomness. The little gray cells see strategy, psychology, and the inevitable disclosure of truth. Poirot pauses a frame from a viral clip, a shadow misaligned with natural light, a hand hovering over a table, a fleeting facial expression, all seemingly insignificant, yet perfectly correlating with a prior DM, a geolocation anomaly, and a password pattern identified earlier. His eyes narrow with satisfaction as he whispers, "Ah, Mes Amos, the unseen hand, revealed not by confession, but by consistency, by error, and by the inevitable patterns of human nature." He traces lines across the digital crime board, arrows connecting accounts, timestamps, posts, emojis, and live interactions, building a complete visual network that exposes collusion, deception, and hidden motives, and turns slowly toward the camera, voice lowering for dramatic effect. Here, in this culmination, the truth is undeniable. Each action, each interaction, each fleeting digital footprint was part of a grand puzzle. The ordinary world perceives chaos, the detective perceives order. The threads that seemed random now reveal a design, a narrative hidden in plain sight, orchestrated yet imperfectly executed, as all human endeavors are. A brief humorous interruption occurs when a trending filter accidentally overlays Poirot's reflection on one monitor, briefly distorting his facial expression into a caricature. He lets out a soft sigh, adjusts his posture, and murmurs, "Even in folly, the truth is revealed, sometimes inadvertently." Returning to solemn focus, Poirot narrates the final connections, how viral trends intersected with direct messages, live interactions, geolocations, timestamps, and password patterns, how subtle gestures, delayed responses, and microbehaviors all converge to reveal the hidden orchestrator behind the digital chaos, and how even attempts at concealment only strengthened the trail of evidence. He pauses, leans back, and with a calm, triumphant smile delivers the grand conclusion, and there it is, the hidden narrative, the orchestrator of deception, exposed at last. What was intended to remain concealed, what was masked by distraction, frivolity, and the chaos of social media, has been revealed by observation, logic, and the unwavering discipline of the little gray cells. The truth is immutable. Patterns cannot lie. And Hercule Poirot has uncovered it all. The camera slowly pans out as Poirot's eyes survey the fully illuminated crime board, the screens flickering softly with notifications and highlighted posts, the suspenseful music reaching a dramatic crescendo, while the montage of all 10 parts flashes briefly in review: viral clips, DMs, emojis, geolocations, story uploads, passwords, live interactions, and predicted patterns. All converging to show the complete story. Poirot leans back, hands folded, eyes glimmering with satisfaction, and quietly whispers to the camera, "Miss Amos, remember this, even in a world consumed by distraction, fleeting trends, and viral absurdities, the little gray cells endure. Observe carefully, connect the threads, follow the patterns, and the truth will always be revealed." The digital world may be vast and chaotic, but nothing escapes the detective who knows how to see. And Hercule Poirot will always find it. The lights gradually dim, leaving only the faint glow of notifications flickering like distant stars, and the screen slowly fades to black with final text appearing: "The end." Until the next mystery.